Hey there, it's Sheryl. Today we're going to talk about a topic that's a little bit uncomfortable, and it is overwhelm. Now, I want to be very transparent. I feel overwhelmed sometimes too. So these tools that I'm going to share are very important and near and dear to me. I wish that I had them as a teen. I'm very excited to share them with you and hopefully your teen or any teens that you think might find these helpful or that you think might sometimes feel overwhelmed. There's a couple things that we can do in order to lessen the feel of overwhelm. And again, I really wish I would have had these things as a teen because my memories of high school, I think I was overwhelmed the entire time. So here are 3 things that are going to help teens with overwhelm. And this is the 4th tip in our 4-part series, How Teens Can Be World Class. We're talking about overwhelm. The first thing that teens can do is get all of those swirling things in their head down on paper. Now, this isn't a very attractive term that I call it, but it's called a brain dump. They need to take everything out of their head and put it down on paper. It doesn't need to look pretty. It doesn't need to be organized. They just need to dump it all out onto a piece of paper. It's helpful if they can have a journal or a notebook, even one of those dollar notebooks that have lines on them from the dollar store or from the drugstore is totally fine. So number 1, have a brain dump. Go ahead, put all those things that are swirling around in their head onto a piece of paper. The next thing is to make a little sense of those things. So put them in order of importance. So if they're planning for their week or if they're planning for a day, they need to write down the non-negotiables first. The number 1 thing that they need to get done that's most important. We call those A-listers, things that are not negotiable, that they have to get done. It's very important for their progress and for them to do well and for them to feel good about themselves. It may have to do with academics, maybe it's vocabulary words they need to study, maybe it has to do with their sports, certain things that they need to practice that they absolutely have to do. So the first thing is to have a brain dump, get everything that's swirling around their head on paper. The second thing is to prioritize, starting with the most important things first. Now, this third thing is incredibly important because it's always great to have a sense of being finished. Now, what causes overwhelm with us, and also especially with teens when they're in high school trying to manage a lot of different things, is they never feel done. It's kind of like the bottomless pit of things to do. And I've talked to many parents. I know they feel that way too. So feel free to use this tip for yourself as well. But the third tip is to write down 3 things in a given day that need to get done. And if you get those things done, then you will feel happy and accomplished. And these things have to be vital and what's important to you making progress and doing your best that day. 3 things. Now, when you write down those 3 things, keep in mind of your schedule and how much time you have to work with. I don't know about you, but me, I'm famous for writing down too many things and then, or the 3 things I write down take way more time than I actually have in the day. So take a good assessment of how much time teens have in a day, and then once they have a good idea how much time they have after school or on a weekend, they can write down 3 things that's most important that they get done in that day so they can either get better or make progress in school. I hope you found those 3 things useful. I wish I had those tips when I was a young person. I'm using them now, still a work in progress, but it's making life so much easier and so much happier, which is most important. If you did find these things useful, please feel free to pass them along or share on Facebook. And I am here for you and or your teen. Please do reach out to me. I'm glad to have a 15-minute consultation for you and your teen, or I'm glad to meet with you for high performance coaching and to let you know a little bit more what that is about. Thanks so much. I look forward to seeing you next time.